What is going on, Governors? Chisgule here, and today we're going to talk about 8 game-changing game mechanics that you may not know about in Rise of Kingdoms. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. We've got 8 game mechanics that we think are really important, but not everybody knows how these things work, so we're going to explain them. This is complementary to a previous video I made, which was 5 hacks contained within your city. Card up in the top if you want to see that. And 8 common mistakes made in Rise of Civilizations. Now, it was Rise of Civilizations then, now it's Rise of Kingdoms. Card up in the top for that as well. But today, we're giving you 8 more game-changing tips. So let's get right into the very first game-changing tip that you may already know about, but might not. And by the way, if you leave with like even just 1 or 2 of these being new things you did not know, we've done our job, and I think you'll find a ton of value in it. So the first one is pretty straightforward. People in your kingdom, you notice, are already doing this. You can bookmark your own city so that when you ask for a title in Kingdom Chat, it will say exactly what kind of title you want. To do that, you tap your city, you hit the flag, and from there you drop down to the star menu, and then you put the text in here that you would want other people to see. So I'll put in the text, "This is a test. Hi. Confirm." Now I can share that. I can share that marker by tapping into my markers up top. This was a special marker. I hit share, and I will drop that into Kingdom Chat. I'll put it into Alliance Chat for now. And you can see it says, "This is a test. Hi." I should have named that "Say Hi to YouTube." So that is the first of 8 game-changing game mechanics you might not have known about. The second is about moving your troops around the battlefield and out of your city. And I remember after they came out with unrestricted troop movement, which, by the way, before, to go anywhere on the map, you had to actually like attack a resource node or like attack a player or attack an objective. Like you couldn't just walk onto the map. And right when they came out with that unrestricted movement, I didn't know what people were doing, but you can tap and hold your city and drag out from it in order to bring a march onto the battlefield. So there you can see I've sent my Attila and Takeda onto the battlefield. You tap and hold your city. So I take my fingers, I press, I guess press and hold is what I really mean. Press and hold, drag away from the city after you've got the city with the white circle around it, and boom, you can send your troops out onto the battlefield. That is a much faster way to get to the battlefield. Now, tip 3 is that you can double tap on a group of troops that are already in the field, and it will select all of them at the same time. That's pretty cool, and it's a handy way to control all of your troops that are in an area. Now, I happen to have only 1 march available at this moment in time, but if I double tap it, it would have selected everyone nearby. And when you're selecting where you want all those troops to go, let's say you don't actually want them to go where I've got it positioned now. If you tap the screen again with a different finger, it will cancel that marching order, and it will not send troops somewhere. Because the problem is that you could drag, and if you let go, it's going to start marching them, which you don't want to do. So you just tap the screen again, boom, cancels the order to march anywhere. And I suppose I should say, it doesn't cancel the order to march anywhere, it just cancels the new marching order you might have been about to give. All right, tip number 4. And now we're going to get a little more advanced. A long time ago, I made a video about the absolute most optimal use of your special star sculptures. And I'll take a look at a commander to illustrate this to you a little more cleanly. We can look at Mehmed. These different star types offer different amounts of experience and luck. And I realized that you could figure out a most optimal combination of those. Card up in the top for the video where I walk through that logic. And when I explained it at the time, I realized that while the most experience you could get in a single shot was the combination of 4 of the bundles and 2 blessed. That is the most experience in a single go. That over time, if we treat our regular stars like an infinite resource, you actually would find you would get more experience over time by doing a combination of 5 regular stars and 1 special star. And for a long time, that was what I was doing until someone came along and explained to me that my logic of treating the gold stars as an infinite resource was not the right way to think about them, because they aren't an infinite resource. They're limited. And what they were able to prove to me was that, in fact, there is an even better use for your special stars. And it is a specific combination of those special stars that in the long run actually does give you more experience. And I wouldn't have expected it. That combination is 4 blessed sculptures and 2 bundles of starlight sculptures. This is actually the very best way for using your special stars. I now do this approach. Then after I've done that, I'll go in and I'll use my 5 regular stars with 1 of the bundles of starlight sculptures, just to get, a little bit of value, because you're going to use up all of your blessed sculptures and have a bunch of bundles left over. I didn't know that that was the optimal combination until I think their name was Magikarp explained it to me. Should have named themselves Gyarados with that insight. Bad joke. Continuing on. Tip number 5. Game-changing game mechanics you might not have known about. We're going to go to the hospital for this one. The hospital is really important. When you heal your troops, you can heal them all at once, get helped by your alliance members, and then speed it up. The thing that I like to do, the thing that you should probably do most of the time, is heal in small batches. And the reason that I like healing in small batches is that your alliance helps can fully complete the healing of those troops. So I typically heal 2,500 T5 at a time, and you get helped some number of times, and boom, it completely heals the troops, and then you do that again and again and again. That means it's going to take you a while. You got to be at the screen for a while, queuing up 2,500 troops at a time. But if you're not in a rush to heal down your hospital, you could heal down your whole hospital over time and not spend a single speed up, which is a pretty good situation. The thing I'll caution you around is that you really don't want your hospital to fill up. And in the insanity of KVK, and because wars and battles can be so intense, I just, every opportunity, fully heal my hospital down, healing every unit in it, and then speeding it up so that I do not accidentally have a full hospital. And that is because at times I am very aggressively fighting in the field. The 6th tip, I think we're on number 6, right? Yes, we are. The 6th game-changing game mechanic you might not have known about is that excess items can be converted into valuable items. So, for instance, a few of those excess items might be things like these kingdom maps. I honestly don't know why I'm still holding on to these instead of having converted them into speed-ups, which is what happens if you use a kingdom map. After you've fully explored your kingdom, you get a 5-minute speed up. I keep thinking maybe they'll add something in the future where you need a kingdom map. They're probably not going to do that. I should probably just use them and claim all the speed ups. I also learned that if you have a permanent version of a city skin, and you also, during a holiday event, pick up a shorter duration version of that same skin, you can use that decoration to get 50 gems. Not a huge number of gems, but if I used up all of these right now, I'd get, 500, 1,000 gems, which is not nothing. Similarly, I've got some ghost candy lying around. If I use one of those, I get a compensation chest. The compensation chest really isn't worth much. I'm probably better off just hanging on to my ghost candies. These have, 1,000 food. Lol. 1 minute of speed up. Those items were probably better in the event that you had them than afterwards. All right, let's get to the 7th game-changing game mechanic. This is one that I have covered in the past. In order to show this to you, I'm just going to jump to my mini account really quickly because this is related to building stuff in your city. I have already built everything in my city in my main account, and it gives me automatic quest completion of the daily quest to build something in your city. However, this quest, which I'll pull up on the screen in just a moment here, I'll pull it up. Skillful Craftsman can be really difficult to do if, in fact, you're in like the City Hall 23 plus range. You've already built a lot of stuff. You're not going to speed up a building every day. The great news is that you can claim that quest credit by building something as simple as a road. There it is, Skillful Craftsman completed. I often prefer to plant trees. I don't know. It's just a thing I'd rather do. But that gives you your quest completion, which is 10 out of 100 of the points that you need every day. 1/10. It's actually a pretty big deal to knock that one out with your free construction. So plant a tree or build a road, claim the quest for a fraction of what it would take to actually build something. Now this last one, we're going to jump back to our main account. And this is related to a bundle that is purchasable. Actually, it's the daily special offer. The daily special offer has the possibility of having legendary commander sculptures contained within it. And one of the game mechanics that many players don't know about is that the content of this chest, which I can show you now, is going to rotate based on which commanders you have fully expertised. So if I jump in and I look at the daily special offer, for me, it's now offering Sculptures of Julius Caesar. Now, the first commander you're offered is Cao Cao. Then you're offered Charles Martel, El Cid. And then after El Cid, you are offered Caesar, Mehmed II, and then Freddy. That is the order. I like that it rotates after you've expertised a commander. What I will caution you is that I don't think Cao Cao is a really great commander to expertise initially, in part because if you're spending money in this game, you could buy him from here, but also in part because he comes from gold keys, and I would rather kind of get him over time from those gold keys than use universals on him and try to rush his expertise. But that does rotate, and what you might not also know is that when you open those chests, for every 3 that you're open, you are guaranteed at least one of them will have legendary commander sculptures in them, and it's between 1 and 10 sculptures. So I have a few of those saved up. If I open one now, I have a silver key. If I open another one, I get an epic commander sculpture, and this third one should be guaranteed a legendary, 3 legendary sculptures of Julius Caesar. You could get more in that set of 3. You could have 2 of them have legendary commander sculptures. That's possible. But that's how that works. For every 3 you open, one of them is guaranteed to give you some legendary commander sculptures, which is nice. It makes it feel a lot more meaningful when you're buying that chest, knowing that there is a floor for just how bad your luck can be. So hopefully, my friends, you've enjoyed these game-changing tips about game mechanics you probably knew about, but might not have. And if you didn't, leave a comment down below which of these things you didn't know about. I'm going to bet that the star optimization was something that a lot of folks might not have known. I only learned that by virtue of someone's incredible patience walking through with me why my logic was not quite right, and I am still very appreciative of that. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. We are a sponsored creator for Rise of Kingdoms, and we create daily content. That's right, daily content for this game. So if you want more tips, drop the like and the sub, and until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom. Ugh, I can't believe I was doing stars the other way for so long. Yeah, well, we get there eventually.